Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Pep Talk on the Joe Maxwell Show. I am your host, Joe Maxwell. Today I've got two amazing women and I call them money goals. Today we'll be talking about achieving success as an African woman in the UK and in the diaspora. Before I welcome my guests on set, take a look at who they are. Hello ladies.
Hi,
welcome
Joe.
to set.
Thank you.
Yes, are we all pumped up for today's topic?
Yep, can't
Brilliant,
wait.
brilliant. Thank you so much guys for coming today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. Just in 30 seconds, I'm just going to pass over to both of you one at a time. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, so at least our viewers kind of know why I call you guys money goals.
That's interesting. So yeah, my name's Fola. I work as a financial director for a financial organisation. I'm also a mum to 2 kids. I enjoy shopping, travelling, and I'm driven and really focused on achieving more.
Brilliant. Mommy goals. Over to you, Caroline.
My name is Popoola, and I currently run a chain of childcare settings, and I've been doing that for 13 years. And like Fola, I'm a mum of 3 wonderful children and been married for 17 years.
Brilliant. So it's amazing when I meet women that are juggling many hats, apart from just being a wife and a mum, that do have a thriving career, in amazing business, and things are going so well. And I think one of the many reasons for having this forum is to showcase that Black women living in the UK and diaspora are doing amazingly well. But just before going into today's topic, I've got a question for you ladies. Okay. So the other day I was at a party and I heard 2 ladies talking about their children. So they've got teenagers. And the question one asked the other was, you know, I'm really considering getting involved in my child's relationship and all of that malarkey. And it was interesting to actually hear that conversation, because basically one wasn't happy with the relationship that the child or the son had. Right. The question really for you ladies, because you do have a child, you have your son is
2 boys.
You've got 2 boys. Yeah. And your first is
18.
Wow. Okay. I don't know how you've been able to, you know, but we'll talk about that later. But you look amazing for someone who's got an 18-year-old.
Thank you so much.
You've got, your second is how old? 13.
Brilliant.
Well done. And Caroline, you've got 3 children.
I've got 3 children, yeah.
Amazing. And you're?
My daughter's 15 and I've got 2 boys, 11 and 10.
So clearly and evidently they're at the age where they would probably boy-girl issues. The question is, will you choose your child's, or would you assist to in choosing your child's boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, whatever it is, call it?
Absolutely not for me. No, I wouldn't.
Really?
Wouldn't. I allow them to make their own choices, even if that choice includes a mistake. I think it's important for children to learn through their own mistakes. So no, I wouldn't get involved.
At all?
Not at all.
I'm going to give you a scenario in a bit. But let's just find out what Caroline will do.
Same thing. I wouldn't get involved because because you learn from your mistakes, don't you? And that's life. That's life lesson. You learn from your mistakes, from the challenges you face, from going into a relationship. That's what makes you a better person.
So could this be one of the tips or reasons you don't stress yourself on things, and that's why you guys kind of have this mommy goals? Because you guys are just sitting chilling like, you know, I'm not going to stress myself with certain things.
I think there's so many challenges in life, and my son's girlfriend isn't one of them.
It's not one of those.
No.
And I'll flip the question over to you a little bit, Caroline. They're in a relationship already and things happen, and the boyfriend had to go in jail for like however long, 6 months, 3 months. What would your reaction be? And it's been a good relationship for that, for that long, and this happens, and what would your reaction be, just as an African parent?
Yeah, I think it depends on what they've gone in for. So obviously, as long as it's not anything to do with him being sort of bashing her or anything like that. Because I'm sure we all know friends that've gone into prisons, whether they're guilty or not, that's besides the point, they've gone in, and I think, again, it's that thing, she has to make her own choices or informed decision. You've done your bit. Why get involved? Yeah. Because they can resent you for it. And that's what you don't want. Because I was talking to a friend yesterday, you need to get to a stage in your relationship with your children where you're not mummy you become a friend.
Yeah.
So if I have a 15-year-old and 18-year-old, I'm actually going to be a friend rather than mommy, and you're enforcing everything on them because you're going to lose them. And you need to be very, very careful to draw the line.
I quite like what you said in terms of the way you raise your children up. You know, by default, you'd hope that you have instilled the right value in them for them to be able to make the right choice for themselves. And hopefully, we've been able to live a life that they can emulate as well.
Exactly.
You know, I know that my mum wouldn't do this. I know my dad wouldn't do this, so therefore I wouldn't do that.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's a good one. I feel like that's an intelligent conversation. A little bit different from what we're about. I know, but it's great to see that we have evolved as African women.
Absolutely.
Because I think if this was like even a decade ago, it would have been a totally different
you won't even be allowed to speak to them.
Absolutely, you wouldn't even be able to have that conversation with your parent to say, it was a no-no. Thank you so much, ladies. And let's go into today's topic.
Okay.
That I am very, very keen to actually learn from you ladies. And I'm very sure that our viewers as well are itching to hear how you ladies are the money goals for this week.
I like that.
Money goals.
Yeah, I like that. That's a new one now.
A phrase to keep. Money goals.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So there has been an increase in women rising up to become more successful in their line of work. An increase in the need to be seen or heard to be doing successfully well when compared with other women a few decades ago. Today we'll be talking about achieving success as an African woman in the UK and in the diaspora. Still with me on set is a beautiful and a lovely Caroline Popoola, an amazing Folu Onabule. Now, I'm going to be very direct with you, and the question is, what do you think, or what are the qualities that you believe you possess that's taking you this far and still going?
I think I mean, when Fola came in earlier, we were talking about what we do and stuff, and she said, oh, why did I go into what I do? I said, oh, because I'm lazy. But and I think it's that thing of like, you look at yourself and you think, okay, how could I make things work? So I can't be in 12 places at the same time. It's impossible. I can't deal with all 67 staff in the same way. So how do we make it work? It's having a process in place, having a policy in place, having a system in place that actually, so from the first one, everything mirrors across onto all of the 12 settings. So you have people that you trust wholeheartedly, that you know are totally sold out to your dreams and goals, and you look after them. So we've got this thing of like African people, you don't look after your own, or you don't invest. I invest so much in my team, I reinvest in them, I invest from bottom up. So for example, I will take on an apprentice. I will raise them up. I will raise their ego. I'll raise their belief. I'll tell them how, if they have it in them, and I can see it.
So much for sharing that.
Yeah,
I'm going to come to you. I'm going to come to you, Fola. In the career world, because somebody's actually watching now and thinking, well, I'd like to get to that director role in the financials. How did she do it? Talk to us about the qualities you believe you possess and what's helped you to get this far in your career.
I think from a very early age, I've always been a very focused person. I was raised to always be better than the best person in the class. So I've always had that mindset of overachieving. You know, I work with very high-performing people. So from my perspective, it's always, you know, how can I do better? I set myself goals. Sometimes they're over-ambitious goals, but they're my goals. So even if I don't achieve all of them in any given year, you know, they're my goals. I critique myself. I, you know, carry some over to the next. But the important thing is that I have them. And, you know, they help me to stay focused. So I can always, you know, refer back to my goal list and, you know, check, you know, what have I achieved or what do I need to carry forward maybe to the following year. And, of course, life itself, outside of my career, you know, I'm a mum, so I have other challenges as well. So sometimes that gets in the way as well. But on the whole, I would say it's recognizing your value, what you bring to the table. And that can be any table. You know, everybody has to start from somewhere, right? The important thing is to know your value and own it, but also to make measurable progress in whatever you do. A good example is, you know, recently at work, I had to, you know, pitch for a new business. So I had to, you know, talk to a client about some business that we were talking about. So I work as part of a leadership team. There's about 4 men in the team and 1 other lady. So I pitched this idea, you know, had all my slides ready, and I thought it was, you know, great. And that's another thing, I'm very confident in the work that I do. I'm always willing to learn, so I'm not perfect, but I come with a lot of confidence because I know my subject matter and I own it all the time. So, but my idea was, you know, to do X, and, you know, everyone's thought that idea wasn't going to work, you know, it wasn't good enough, and they felt that, you know, it wouldn't quite, you know, go well with the client. So I thought, oh, okay, great, let's see other people's ideas. Because again, always willing to learn and improve myself. So anyway, fast forward, we finally got, you know, in front of the client, and then up goes the pitch that we're going to present. So one of my other colleagues, one of the guys, was going to present that pitch, and up goes my slides, my own slides that I put together.
Oh, wow.
And that was put forward as, you know, this is what we're going to do. The client loved it, you know, and as a team, we got the credit. But of course, I walked away from that thinking, hang on a minute.
That
you know,
was my work.
That was my idea. So, you know, and it's not cool, you know, to do that. So, of course, I had a word with him. And yeah. So the important thing is that the way that I handle the situation. So rather than be defeated by the fact that, you know, that's my pitch, you know, how dare you, and, you know, have this whole aggressive, you know, woman thing going on, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's not the way to do it. I think it's best to just take a step back and think about the expected outcome that you would like. What's the outcome? You want to be respected by your colleagues, not necessarily because you're a woman or because you're black, but because you bring value to the table. And I brought value because those were my slides. And guess what? Everyone in the room, they knew they were my slides.
So guys, and now you see why I call them money goals and mommy goals. They have been so well at keeping and adhering to the processes and the qualities that makes them excel in their individual career and businesses. That is it for us on today's episode on the Pep Talk series. Join the conversation using the hashtag JoeMaxwellShow, or email us at info@joemaxwellshow.com. See you again same time next week. I am your host, Joe Maxwell.